Hey, Dan Blackburn here. Welcome to your weekly edition of Monday Motivation, your most, say it with me, powerful day of your week. Hey, before we get started today, I want to give a huge shout out to all the shares, all the comments, all the feedback, all the subscriptions that I've had through this Monday Motivation. Look, when I set out on this Monday Motivation months and months ago, it was a way for me to share the power that I had learned Monday had been for me. You see, Monday had become my most powerful day. And it was the day that I saw as my springboard. It was that clean canvas that allowed me to write whatever I wanted to write. And so this is also true for you. So I set about a motive, an idea, a plan to go out and inspire you to see it the same way. So if you're listening to this now for the first time, or you've listened to it many times, who else can you share this with? Who do you know that is that grumpy Monday hater? Who are those Monday haters? Who are the people who need to hear this message to understand that Monday is your most powerful day of your week? And now, on the heels of all those comments and all those questions and feedback, I've had two specific questions that have come to me. And in honor of those questions, this week, this Monday Motivation will answer both of those questions. The first question is, yes, I am available on social media. Our website, danblackburn.com, and on social media, Twitter, Periscope, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I don't know if I'm forgetting some, but it's my address is at follow Dan B. Follow Dan B. So find me on all of those platforms, because I love bringing the Monday Motivation to you, but I'm also passionate about connecting with you in other ways throughout the course of the week. When I share some of my celebrations, some of my challenges, when I celebrate other people that I have the privilege of working with, I want you to also see the impact that Monday is having on all those people. And then the second thing I want to do today is answer a question. And the question will become the topic, the title of this Monday Motivation. The question is, Dan, what do I do when I face change? Oh man, let me tell you, I love this question. Okay, so here it is in a nutshell. And I share this story to countless people, whether I'm speaking live or online. And it goes something like this. There was a company a number of years ago that started called Kodak. Kodak was a global brand, and they built cameras, they built the hard bodies, they built all kinds of different camera products, but they also built the film. They constructed the film, and then they had a processing plant, and they had processing plants all over the world where they would then process the film that people were buying. So it was a wonderful business model. But then in the late 90s and early 2000s, something happened. Digital photography happened. You see, digital photography started to change the face of photography as a whole, and had an immediate impact on Kodak. Now hold that thought for a second around Kodak, and I want to shift your focus over to a friend of ours. And I say he's a friend of ours because when I tell you this story, you'll realize that you're pretty thankful, you're pretty grateful. You've experienced this guy's work at some level. There was a guy by the name of Nick Woodman. Yeah, Nick Woodman. Nick Woodman was an extreme sports guy. He loved to surf, he loved to snowboard, he loved to skateboard. He loved to do all those things, some of those things that our moms have told us not to do, and make sure if we do them, we wear a helmet. But he was passionate about doing those, but he was passionate about something else. He wanted to be able to see and then share his experience with others from his vantage point. That's right, he wanted to be able to film himself doing his extreme sport from his vantage point. But he identified a problem. There was no hardware, there were no cameras, and that were small enough that he could use in his application. And secondly, if there were, they didn't store enough data. They didn't store enough data that could show the landing of the final jump or the result of that amazing new move that he was trying. And then lastly, they weren't weather and environment proof. So what did Nick do? Nick made a change. Nick changed the way we all look at photography. In case you haven't noticed, in case you haven't realized, Nick Woodman is the founder of GoPro. So how is it possible that in 2002, when GoPro was founded, the time when Nick was embracing change, and change that he'd end up sharing with a lot of us, that Kodak, this massive corporate organization, wasn't able to do the same? You see, it didn't matter what Kodak did. It didn't matter how they shifted, how they changed. They didn't have Nick's viewpoint. They didn't understand what Nick saw and what he understood. Nick Woodman now is worth $1.67 billion. And in 2012, Kodak filed for bankruptcy and closed their doors for the last time. And you see, Kodak had almost 10 years, almost an entire decade to change their course, to change the direction of the bow of their boat, to move in the direction of what the marketplace was asking for. But they weren't able to do that. They weren't able to satisfy the need that we had in the marketplace. Nick Woodman could. Nick Woodman knew something that Kodak didn't. Nick Woodman was on the snowboard. He was on the surfboard. He was on the longboard. He was in the field doing what he loved to do. And so he turned that passion into something that he knew would help him, and ultimately has now helped millions, tens of millions, and hundreds of millions of people as his sales continue to soar. So where can you show up in your life like Nick Woodman? Where can you show up in your life with your experiences, with your talents, with your gifts, and start embracing change? Start looking at the moment that you have now in front of you as an opportunity to make a shift, to change direction, that you have the freedom that other people may not have to go ahead and do what it is that you're most passionate about. Look, Nick Woodman knew something because he had experienced something. And there's nothing he could have done to share that idea, to try and convince Kodak or anybody in that family to what he was doing, because they were locked on what they thought they needed to do to pull out of that nosedive. So you're no different in your life. Whatever the changes you're trying to make, I mean, I don't know. Is it like Nick Woodman? Is it a passion? Is it something that you want to do because you want to express and you want to share your experiences with other people? I mean, maybe it's like the part of the Nick Woodman story where it's the 1.67 billion. I mean, maybe that's what's driving you, is the money. It's about the money for you and for your family and for your legacy and for the next generation of your family. I mean, maybe it's something in your personal life. Maybe it's about having that relationship. I don't know what it is for you. But this week you have the opportunity to embrace that change, the change that maybe you've been afraid of for weeks, for days, for months, maybe for your entire life. This is the moment. You see, this is the power of change. It sparks an opportunity for you. So this week, on the heels of the question that came to me from our viewers, from other people in the Monday Motivation community, you now have a gift. And I'm going to wrap it up in 3 bows. I'm going to share 3 things that you must adhere to if you want to be like Nick Woodman. Number 1, get creative. Yeah, that's right. Let your creative juices flow. Look, when you're facing change, go and be creative. Think outside the box. Move the lines. Break the boundaries. Trust yourself. And craft out a vision that feels right for you. And once you've done that, get clear. I mean, absolutely crystal clear. And then once you've got that clarity, then get to work. That's right. Get focused. Roll your sleeves up. Do the heavy lifting. Look, change will bring about discomfort. But get comfortable with it because that's growth. You see, change is growth. Change is giving you the passageway. It's giving you the portal to something bigger, to something greater. Dare I say, to something legendary. You have it within you. Follow these 3 steps. Use your creative flair. Trust yourself. Get clear. Get clear because you know what you want. Stop listening to the people, the places, the things around you that are telling you no, that are telling you you're a little bit wacky, that are maybe even be telling you that you're crazy. And then lastly, Be ready to do the work, embrace the work, look forward to doing the work, because that work is creating change. That work is having you evolve into the opportunity, into the place, into that part of your life that you say you want to be in. This is your time. You see, this is the power of Monday. You see, I set out to do this, and now people are bringing questions to me, to you, to us, that then I can share with. So keep those questions coming. Keep your thoughts. Stay focused on what you want. You've got it. You just have to embrace change and be ready for the amazing wave that's waiting for you just beyond the next bend. I'm Dan Blackburn. This is your Monday Motivation. This week, keep dreaming, keep planning, and keep executing your legendary life. Booyah!